Let me ask you something honest. Have you ever woken up, looked around, and felt like the world moved on without you? Like things just don't make sense the way they used to? If you're over 80, you're not alone in that feeling. Life shifts. People move faster. Routines change. The phone doesn't ring as much. And suddenly the silence in your own home gets louder. No one really prepares us for this stage, not in school, not in our 50s, and not even in our 70s. But you're still here. And that means something. That means you still have a voice, a purpose, a reason to learn and adapt. In this video, I want to walk with you through the real parts of life after 80. The parts no one likes to talk about, but we must. Because the more prepared you are, the more power you have to face it with strength, grace, and even joy. Let's begin with one of the hardest truths. The world gets quieter. Friends pass away. Family gets busy. You might go from hearing laughter in the house every weekend to only hearing your own footsteps. And that silence, it can be heavy. But here's the truth most don't realize. Loneliness is not the same as being alone. Being alone can be peaceful, but loneliness, that creeps in when you feel forgotten. And no one deserves to feel forgotten, not after 80 years of living, learning, and loving. So how do you deal with it? You reconnect with yourself first. You wake up and ask yourself, what small thing can I enjoy today? Maybe it's a warm cup of coffee by the window. Maybe it's writing a letter to someone who hasn't heard from you in a while. It's not about waiting for the world to come to you. It's about sending a signal back out. You are still here. You still matter. If this message is already resonating with you, take a moment to subscribe to this channel. We talk about real things, things that help you feel seen, heard, and stronger every single day. Now let's talk about another tough reality. Your body starts to change faster than your mind can keep up. One day you're walking fine. The next you're gripping the railing a little tighter. You might forget where you put your keys, or even why you walked into a room. These moments don't mean you're broken. They mean your body's asking for more care than before. Instead of fearing these changes, learn to listen to them. When your knees ache, they're not punishing you. They're pleading with you to stretch, to rest, or to walk a little more mindfully. When your memory slips, it's not failure. It's a signal to slow down and breathe. Write things down. Keep routines. And give yourself grace. You've remembered thousands of things for decades. It's okay if some of them slip through the cracks now. And if you're finding this conversation valuable, hit that like button and share this with someone you care about. Sometimes, one video can remind someone that they're not alone in what they're going through. Life after 80 doesn't mean you fade, just means you shine a little differently. You've seen storms, you've survived decades, and that deserves more than silence. That deserves wisdom, peace, and the strength to face what's next with your head high. Now that we've touched on the quiet and the physical changes, let's continue. Because there's another part of this journey that hits just as hard, and yet it holds the key to deep emotional freedom. One of the hardest shifts after 80 isn't something you can touch or see, it's how people start treating you differently. You may notice it in small ways first. A nurse speaking to your daughter instead of to you. A store clerk being overly polite, as if you can't think for yourself. Or someone saying, "You probably don't remember," before they even finish their sentence. It can feel like the world starts looking through you instead of at you. Like your wisdom, your experiences, even your opinions don't carry the same weight anymore. But here's the thing. They forget you've lived through wars, heartbreak, births, loss, and miracles. You've seen the world change in ways they've only read about. And no number, not even 80, can take away your voice unless you give it up. So don't give it up. Speak up. Speak clearly. Don't apologize for needing someone to slow down or speak louder. You earned the right to be heard. And if people don't listen the first time, say it again. Being over 80 doesn't mean becoming invisible. It means standing in your truth, calmly and firmly, like the oak tree that's still standing after every season has passed. That brings us to something even deeper: grief. By 80, you've likely lost people you loved. Maybe a spouse, a sibling, close friends. And the hardest part isn't just the missing, it's the way the world moves on without them. You may find yourself laughing one moment, only to be hit with a wave of sadness the next. That's not weakness. That's love that still lives inside you. It doesn't mean you're stuck in the past. It means you love deeply, and that kind of love doesn't have an expiration date. But here's what grief doesn't get to do: it doesn't get to steal your future. You're still here, and that means new moments can still find you. They may look different, quieter, simpler, but they can still bring joy. A sunrise, a handwritten note, a memory that brings a smile instead of tears. That's your heart healing, little by little. If you've ever felt unseen, unheard, or just tired of pretending like everything's fine, subscribe to this channel. This is your space to be real, to be heard, and to feel strong again in your own story. Now let's be honest. Another reality is that life after 80 often comes with a loss of independence. Maybe it's giving up the car keys. Maybe it's needing help with stairs or forgetting how to work the microwave. It's frustrating. No one likes asking for help, especially when you've spent a lifetime being the one others relied on. But asking for help doesn't make you helpless. It makes you smart. It makes you safe. And it shows you still value your life enough to protect it. There's no shame in leaning on others now and then. In fact, it reminds your loved ones how much they matter. You're not a burden, you're a blessing they still get to have. This stage of life isn't about what you've lost. It's about what you still have and what you choose to do with it. Now let's keep going, because there's one more truth we need to face together, and it's the one that often scares people the most. Let's talk about the reality most people avoid, even doctors, even family: the thought of death. It's the final truth we all carry, but after 80, it starts to feel more present. Not because you're obsessed with it, but because you're aware of how precious time really is. And that awareness can be heavy, especially when people around you seem too afraid to even bring it up. But here's what most don't understand. You don't fear death because of the end. You fear it because of the unknowns, because of what you might leave behind, because of whether you've said enough, done enough, been enough. But let me tell you something, and I hope it settles deep into your heart. You've lived through more than most people can imagine. You've touched lives. You've left marks that no one can see, but that others carry with them every single day. That smile you gave a stranger, that story you told your grandchild, that kindness you showed someone who didn't deserve it. Those things matter. They stay. The real fear shouldn't be death. It should be not living while you're still alive. Not using today because you're worried about what might happen tomorrow. That's why every morning you open your eyes is a gift. It's one more chance to laugh, to call someone you love, to enjoy a meal, to pray, to forgive, to smile at your reflection and say, I'm still here, and I'm still me. Now is the time to let go of regrets. You've carried them long enough. Let go of what you didn't say. Let go of what you couldn't fix. Forgive yourself for the things you wish you did better. Because peace isn't something that visits you, it's something you decide to make space for. If you're still watching this, I want to thank you for sticking with me. And if this message brought you any comfort, any courage, or reminded you that your story still matters, please subscribe to this channel. This is a space where your age is your strength, your wisdom is welcome, and your voice will always be respected. And here's one last thing. You are not broken. You are not forgotten. You are not too old. You are a living book full of chapters, full of lessons, full of beauty. And the best thing about being over 80? You've earned the right to live how you want, love how you want, and speak your truth boldly. Drop a comment below and tell us, what's something you've learned after 80 that the rest of the world needs to hear? Your words might be exactly what someone else needs today. Go ahead and like this video if it meant something to you. Share it with someone who needs to hear they're not alone in this season. Because even now, especially now, you're not just surviving. You're still teaching, still inspiring, and still growing. Here's to living your best life at every stage and embracing the truth with strength, with heart, and with grace.